It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 of the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the NOFSRL Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We are here for the second day in a row, Cabela's Cup Series action for this, the Independence 500, presented by Herr, one of the biggest crown jewels of the season here. And on this 4th of July Sunday, we're ready to go racing here at the Tricky Triangle once again. After yesterday's thriller, Darian Arnsdorf not only sits on the pole for this race because the finishing results for yesterday's race set the starting lineup for this one, but he comes in the points leader, 5 points over Trey Smith, 24 over Samet Oskin, 34 over Will Parrish, 39 over Roy Ribbleton, 48 over Benny Watson, 54 over Brad Stover, 58 over Beverly Creed, 63 over Eric Monaco, and 64 over a three-way tie between Ben Crouch, Nathan Stapleton, and Titan Nicholas there. All the way 10th through 12th, all three of them are tied. We're ready for another fun one here for the second day in a row here at Pocono. 8 laps longer, but it's only going to make this race even trickier. And the engines will come to life here at Pocono in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. 42 going to roll off from the pit road here. And after yesterday's thriller in the Wawa, Pennsylvania 400, Darian Arnsdorf has the pole position there by virtue of the finishing results yesterday, setting the starting lineup for today's Independence 500. He starts on the pole position there, starting alongside the 32 of Beverly Creed. In row number 2, we find the uncharted driver of Boston Jones in the 57. He is starting alongside the 52 of Josiah Robinson. In row number 3, we find Joey Hightower, who saw his second win of the season just slip through his fingers, and he is looking to rebound here in one of the biggest crown jewels of the season. Starting alongside him, the 68 of Kip Silverpoint in that Agretzico Dodge. In row number 4, we find the 78 of Ben Grorich, who led a huge chunk of the race yesterday, slipped backwards late. He is starting alongside his teammate, defending Cabela's Cup Series champion, Kanan Biller, who is still looking to turn around what has been an atrocious season for him. Rounding out the top 10 there in row number 5, we find Owen Miles, 21st place pointsman, gained 6 positions in the points after yesterday's Wawa, Pennsylvania 400, and he is starting alongside Andrew Williams, who won at Fontana earlier this season, was fast yesterday, moved up 3 positions in the points yesterday, sits 25th coming in, and we are more than ready to get this one started here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, as the field comes down the front straightaway here out of turn number 3. The pace car will make the hard left turn to pit road. And now, finally here, happy 4th of July, everybody. The Independence 500 is green here at Pocono. Down out of turn number 3 and down the front straightaway, Darren Arnsdorf leads lap number 1 of the Independence 500 here at Pocono. Beverly Creed going to settle down into that second position if she can get by Josiah Robinson in the 52. And a very clean start to the race for the second day in a row. We saw one go completely caution-free yesterday for 32 laps, which was great to see. And we are having another clean start here at Pocono. You love to see it, but Arnsdorf has gone out to a pretty hefty lead over Beverly Creed and is showing some serious speed in that All-Star Speed Team Chevrolet Camaro SS. But Creed closing in that Toyota Camry XSE once again for Hamill Racing Enterprises. Down the front straightaway, got a nice long straightaway here, all the way down into turn 1, and Creed taking a look down low. Picked up some draft there off of the 14 of Arnsdorf and will have a shot at taking the race lead away down low, and she is going to do that. And not only do you just win one of the biggest races of the season today, if you win this one, you're guaranteed a reserve for next season if you don't already have one. Arnsdorf already is a lock for next season. Beverly Creed is not a lock for next season. Boston Jones is an uncharted driver, but he would like to steal one away from these guys too. Sebastian Kugelon is a lock for next season if he so chooses to. Kip Silverpoint, rookie, is not a lock for next season. Joey Hightower, not yet a lock for next season. He has a race win, but it's not a crown jewel. So there are some hungry drivers up here looking to get to the front. Kugelon, everyone dreams of winning a crown jewel race. Kugelon just dreams of winning this race, any race, to finally snatch his first career long elusive victory. He sits 16th in the points coming into this thing. No wins, 1 top 5, 5 top 10s on the season. He is 73 points out of the points lead. And as Creed went to the race lead there, he has charged his way to the second position as Arnsdorf is getting swallowed up by the rest of the field, and he is sliding backwards dramatically quick. Now already on lap number 5 of 40 here in the Independence 500 at Pocono. Kugelon trying to close in there on the 32. Toyota 1-2 here at Pocono Raceway. Now Kugelon's going to take a look to the inside there for the race lead. And this would be a home track win for Kugelon, and what a way to get your first career win it would be. This would be, honestly, the biggest feel-good moment of the season if Kugelon could grab his first career win, not only in one of the biggest races of the season, but right at his home track. But he's going to have to hold on for 35 more laps if he wants to do that, plus through 2 pit cycles, and it's going to be a big challenge here from Kip Silverpoint in the 68. The rookie goes to the inside there, trying to take the lead away from Kukulon, the veteran, who's working that top side. And he looks like he's going to hold on to the race lead. Yes, he will. By a car length and a half, he is in front of the 68. Robinson going to take the dive down low on Silver Point. Williams and Creed there waiting in the wings. Stover getting around Jones and Trey Smith in the 77 looking to get his points lead back from Arnsdorf. He is moving his way up through the field. As Kukulon continues to lead this thing, Josiah Robinson right there on the backside of that 82. Down the front straightaway, he'll poke out of the start-finish line, headed on to lap number 7. 34 laps remain in the Independence 500, in a very clean race so far here at Pocono, as the 52 goes to the race lead for owner Jacob Thibodeau. Thibodeau in the 33 is in 33rd right now, so not a very good start to the Independence 500 for that Thibodeau Motorsports owner-driver. The top 6 stretching away side by side for 7th as Osgen gets by Silver Point there. His teammate Sebastian Kukulon up here in that 2nd position, trying to reel in Josiah Robinson once again, who leads coming to lap number 8 of the Independence 500 presented by Herr's. Trey Smith poking out of line once again there in that 77, continuing to work his way up through the field on the inside of Brad Stover there for that 5th position, and he's going to get it, and Osgen looking to take it away, take 6th away actually from Stover as they head down the back straightaway. Creed going to poke out on Andrew Williams there for 3rd position. Kukulon takes the defensive line there in 2nd, and Creed is going to look for a huge dive bomb on that 82. Into 3, that's not going to happen, but they got to start reeling in Robinson. He is starting to pull away big time ahead of everybody else. He still leads here as we are 20% now through the Independence 500. On lap 9 of 40 now, Kukulon, a big run heading off into turn number 1. He was within a quarter second at the line. He's right on the back bumper of that 52 now. Down Long Pond straightaway, he pokes to the inside. And they will be side by side, headed off into the tunnel turn. And you can see Creed is closing in big time behind as well as we watch overhead. Kukulon with the huge send on the inside of the tunnel turn. He takes the lead back here at Pocono. Headed off into turn number 3 once again. And he'll come around to lap 10, and he looks like he's going to lead this one. But we'll have 31 laps remaining here at Pocono. And of course, remember, we're throwing a couple of pit cycles in there. One around lap 16, and the other would be around lap 32 to 33. And the big dive on the inside there by Robinson, trying to get it back. He tried pulling out of the last second, not able to get it. Kukulon pulls away from that 52. Trey Smith already up to that 3rd position there in that 77. Blistering fast Cottonelle Ford here on the 2nd day of the Pocono doubleheader in the Independence 500. But he is showing out in one of the biggest races of the season. Down the 2nd back straightaway into 3. He takes the dive on Robinson for 2nd. Trey Smith rocketing into the front here at Pocono. He just has one more position to take the lead here after starting so deep in the field. After an atrocious day yesterday, Arnsdorf is back in 9th. He is 2nd. He's in the points lead right now if things ended the way they are. Osgen on the inside of 5th does not like seeing that 77 in front of him. He is trying everything he can to catch up to Trey Smith and maybe knock him back the field a little bit because he'd like to take the points lead too. He comes in 24 back. Kip Silverpoint, though, going to look to the inside of that 83. Osgen gives her room, but is trying to work that top side as Robinson and Stover going at it. And I thought the caution was out, but we are still green here. which is fine because this is some good stuff here up front here at Pocono. As Kukulon continues to lead this thing, Trey Smith second, Brad Stover third, Josiah Robinson in fourth, Samet Osgen in the fifth position there in that 83. Kip Silverpoint, Andrew Williams, Darian Arnsdorf, Beverly Creed, and Ben Grorich, the top 10. Down Long Pond straightaway, Trey Smith closing in on that 82. And a big dive there. He's going to try to give Kukulon a big hurry up through the tunnel turn. The top 5 all scrunched in like an accordion coming out of turn 2 and down the second straightaway into turn 3. Kukulon's going to stretch away from this as Smith and Stover battle for that second position with Robinson, Osgen, and Silverpoint waiting in the wings. On to lap 13, this time by 28 laps to go. But we're closing in just the next 2 or 3 laps on the first pit cycle of the race. As Trey Smith pulls away from Stover and Robinson. We've been caution-free so far through the Independence 500 at Pocono. Stover trying to bring his Ford Performance Parts Mustang back up to Trey Smith in the 77, and the caution flag is not out. I thought it was out again, but it is not. We are still green flag racing here at the Tricky Triangle. Kukulon continues to lead this thing, looking very strong in that 82 Combos Toyota. He leads over Trey Smith, Brad Stover, Josiah Robinson, Samet Osgen, Darian Arnsdorf, Beverly Creed, Andrew Williams, Ben Grorich, and Ryan Durrani, as Durrani goes by his teammate Kip Silverpoint there for that 10th position. And now just a couple laps away from pit cycles, as yesterday it happened at coming to lap 16, and we're coming to lap 15 this time by Hightower, working his way by the 15 of Daisy Johnson there for that Velocistar team. And he is looking to work his way back up to the front after a good showing yesterday and a good start to the race. He's all the way back in 30th, or was all the way back in 30th the last time through. So he would like to turn his race around for sure, because it has not started off well at all. Ben Crouch coming in to this race in the 10th position in points after losing 4 positions in the points yesterday. He is 64 back, tied with Stapleton and Nicholas, as we see Stover get by Smith there for that second position. Crouch was 20th the last time through in that Hershey's number 74. And so he is going to look to turn his race around here when pit cycles happen. And it looks like they're getting ready to happen now. The first taker, Sebastian Kukulon, he's going to bring a whole lot of people with him. Arnsdorf, Biller, Crawford, Young, Buck, Miles, Rowe, Jones, Stapleton, and Park down onto the pit road. And that could be good. That could be very, very good for them. The undertake propelled Ryan Durrani to the race lead after in the immediate aftermath of the pit cycle yesterday. But I should point out that Ryan Durrani, of course, did not win yesterday. He slipped back late. And we're going to have a couple of pit cycles in this one. So we're going to have an even further elongated run to the... Oh my goodness, Thibodeau has a problem there on the inside of that 33. Looks like he may have had a tire let go. As more cars come down, Stover and Wilmington stay out on the track. Davenport, Ribbleton, and Nicholas as well. And everybody else coming down onto the pit road. Trey Smith leads the brigade down into the pit area. A very, very wide pit road here at Pocono Raceway. As you see everybody get into their stall there. And we'll take a look at where Kukulon is right now. Here he is, rounding turn 3. Smith trying to work his way off of the pit road. And of course, we'll have to see when Stover, Wilmington, and Davenport and everybody else come down onto the pit road. Here they come. Wilmington and Stover down. Davenport, Ribbleton, and Nicholas coming down. And Kukulon has gotten around Trey Smith. And that is a humongous lead. Take a look out back of the 82. And there's the margin back to Trey Smith. But it does look like that 77 is closing in at least a little bit already. But of course, the last 5 on the pit road, Stover, Wilmington, Ribbleton, Davenport, and Nicholas. Kukulon's going to get by them. And it's going to be little to no competition here, as he is going to come flying around them, as should Trey Smith in the 77. There's Stover, and there goes Kukulon. Smith is going to just get by Stover, as will Robinson. The gap at the line between the 82 and 77, just a little over 2 seconds. But it already does look like Trey Smith is closing in big time on that 82. So that gap is not going to stay the same for very long. It is going to continue to shrink. Just a little over 1 second last time by. Apologies. But this time by, the gap 1.02 seconds from Trey Smith to Kukulon. That's the gap from first to second as Kukulon leads. Smith, Robinson, Young, Arnsdorf. Just a couple laps short of the halfway point here in the Independence 500. Kukulon still leading, but the big charge from Trey Smith, Josiah Robinson, Ben Young, Darian Arnsdorf, and Brad Crawford, they are coming quick. So Kukulon gonna have to be mindful of what is coming, as he is trying to not only score his first career Cabela's Cup Series victory, a long elusive first win, but he wants to do it here in Pocono Raceway, his home track, in one of the biggest races of the season. Down Long Pond straightaway, a good exit out of turn number 1. Smith breaking away from the battle between Young and Robinson. And if Smith can get up there to Kukulon and they start battling, that will bring those 4 back in. Young, Robinson, Arnsdorf, and Crawford. Now Young stretching away from it as Arnsdorf and Robinson go at it and get Crawford in there as well. Halfway done in the Independence 500, this time by Kukulon, Smith, Young, Arnsdorf, and Robinson. That is the top 5 at halfway. Crawford 6th, Stover 7th, Osgen 8th, Biller 9th, and Grorich rounds out the top 10. Caution free through the first half of the race so far. We'll see if we can make it caution free through the last 20 laps of this race. We saw it caution free yesterday. We're looking at potentially another one as Trey Smith going to take the dive on Kukulon for the race lead, and he's going to take it with ease. Ben Young on the inside of Kukulon now for that second position out of turn 3. And he looks like he's going to take that spot away. Kukulon better pull in behind Young there and be careful with Arnsdorf coming behind. Arnsdorf on the inside of the 82. Into one. He is there on the inside. Kukulon trying to work that outside. And it looks like he's going to pull back ahead of that 14. But Trey Smith trying to take the points lead back away from Darian Arnsdorf, who took it yesterday with a race victory here at Pocono. Kukulon, the guy who's looked the strongest all race long, now in the 3rd position. But if Young and Smith go side by side, he knows he has a shot to get it back. Here comes Young, popping out to the inside of the 77. And will he take the race lead away from Smith? He's going to be equal to him coming out of turn number 1. Down Long Pond straightaway. Smith looks like he's going to pull back ahead of the 2, but we'll see about the tunnel turn. Young on the inside. They're going to train around the 77. Young immediately around in that DeWalt 2. Kugel onto the inside of Smith there for second, and he is going to take it away from the Cottonelle 77. Arnsdorf there in the 14. Still mathematically the points leader. The gap over Trey Smith was 5 points after yesterday. And Arnsdorf is right there, the position behind Trey Smith. Kukulon going to look at Young for the race lead. And he's going to take it away from the 2. Or will he, as Young is trying to fight back on that outside lane. Trying to swing back around, and he's got a shot to. Trey Smith might take him 3 wide going into the tunnel turn. He's looking down low. Thought better of it. But Young still on that top side. Kukulon, if he stays underneath him, he'll have the dive into the flat turn 3. And that looks like is what's going to happen here. Outside lane, there's almost no traction up there in the 3rd turn. It is completely flat. You've got to be down low. But Young stuck up there a lot better than I thought he would. But Kukulon stretches ahead at the line, and he leads. Coming to lap 25, 16 laps remain in the Independence 500. The fuel window is open to make it to the end. We'll have to see when everybody comes down onto the pit road. As if you do it, you may not want to do it too early, because the overtakers at that point would have the freshest stuff to make it to the end of the race. So it's still more than likely that everyone is going to come down about the same time. Still reckon around lap 32 or so, as Young tries to take the dive on Kukulon into 3. And he's going to be there coming out of turn 3, down the front straightaway. Kukulon's got just a little over a half car length lead, but Young trying to side draft him heading off into turn 1, and he's going to take that Blackout Motorsports Chevrolet on the inside. Trey Smith right there as well as 77. This could be the end for Kukulon. Trying to work on that outside lane down Long Pond straightaway. A big push coming from Trey Smith to Ben Young into the tunnel turn, and Arnsdorf right there in the 14 as well. If Kukulon can't get back down. And Kukulon, he's in deep trouble now. If he can't get down in front of Arnsdorf, he got lucky there. Arnsdorf had a challenge on the outside from Robinson. Looks like that held him up. Stover, Crawford, and Osgen there as well now. Kukulon coming back at Trey Smith for that 2nd position. 14 laps to go here at Pocono. Yesterday's winner, Darren Arnsdorf, still there in the 4th position. Kukulon did not get Trey Smith there going through turn 1, and now he is slow going down Long Pond straightaway, and they're going to train around him on the inside of the tunnel turn. Absolutely. Unless he can make that top side work. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. You can only get so lucky, and Arnsdorf will go by the 82 there. He's looking to go back-to-back days here, and the Pocono doubleheader. Ben Young pulling away though, in the lead of the Independence 500. Trey Smith trying to close in on him, as Kukulon slips backwards in the 82 on that outside lane. But we still got one more pit cycle, and we'll have to see how it goes. I'm honestly surprised Kukulon was able to hold on as long as he did. But it looks like his first win is going away from him, unfortunately, once again. But we're just a handful of laps away from the second cycle, as Young leads ahead of Smith. Arnsdorf, Crawford, Kukulon, not out of it just yet. He's looking for fourth place on that 07. Not going to get it for now. He's going to stay in behind Crawford, as Crawford going to look to the inside on Arnsdorf, and Kukulon looking at Robinson there for that 7th position. Not going to take it away. Arnsdorf and Crawford going at it there for third. Crawford going to take it away from the 14. Down Long Pond straightaway, Trey Smith losing a little bit of ground there to Ben Young. Now gets closed back in once again through the tunnel turn. And now to turn 3. Will he make a move for the race lead? He will not. Young doing a great job of defending that 77 right now, as Kukulon back to 4th, Stover to 5th, as Arnsdorf slid high in turn 3. 11 laps to go in the Independence 500, and it is far from over here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. What an incredibly interesting race we have seen so far. If it was yesterday, we'd have 3 laps remaining now. And it does look like we are going to be about 2-3 laps away from the last pit cycle of the race. We only had the 1 pit cycle yesterday. We're going to have 2 today. The Chevy, Ford, Toyota up front. Kukulon, a huge dive on the inside of Crawford for that 3rd position. He's got the nose advantage coming out of the 3rd turn. Down the front straightaway, he clears him. 10 laps remaining at Pocono. Arnsdorf taking a look at Stover there for that 5th position, and he is going to get by that 48. Robinson and Groch going at it there, and Williams, Osgen. This is the whole top 10 right here, as Young continues to lead in that 2. Smith playing it safe right now. Everyone's just trying to stay as clean as they can because they know the next cycle is coming. And we've been caution-free through this whole race so far, and looks like Boston Jones the only one a lap down right now. And Young is going to come down to the pit road this time. They're going to have to deliver a race-winning stop now. Young, Crawford, Arnsdorf down. Biller, Rowe, Buck, Park, and Stapleton down. And that looks like it's it. Unless we'll see Monaco come down, probably. Yes, he does. Last car on the lead lap, Eric Monaco coming down as well. As Trey Smith in the 77 currently leads. As we're coming to 8 to go this next time by. In the Independence 500, we'll see who comes off the pit road first. It'll be a drag race. Crawford ahead of Young. Just barely avoided Arnsdorf as he was coming out of his stall. And Crawford will have the nose advantage there ahead of Young. Well, we'll take a look ahead here. In trouble in turn 3, but they hold on to it. Collins and Rosero got together there, and no caution as Kukulon and Smith and the whole bunch come down onto the pit road. but Stover stayed out, so did Creed, Smith, Thompson, Silver Point, Wilmington stayed out. And here's Monaco coming off of the pit road. It's like Titan Nicholas and this whole bunch. I don't think they've come down either. And here's Rosero, who got in that little fender bender in turn 3. Looks like Smith comes out in front of Kukulon. Here comes Young in the 2. 3 right there with Osgood, Williams, and Wright. That is treacherous. Coming out of the pit road, Williams will get ahead of that, and Young will get by Kukulon, but not Smith. Crawford gets by the 82. And they're going to have to avoid the slow 13 on the inside of the tunnel turn. Green flag conditions still exist here at Pocono. And of course the last car is coming down onto the pit road. With the exception of Stover. Stover did not come down. Wilmington did not come down. Creed did. Nicholas didn't. And Lewis didn't. So these are the final 4 here that we need to see come down onto the pit road. Stover down on the pits. Wilmington's going to come down to the pits. Nicholas down this time. And Lewis will come down this time. We're coming to 6 laps to go this time. Ben Young, Brad Crawford, Trey Smith, Arnsdorf, and Kukulon. That's the top 5 of this group that has already come down the pit road. Ben Young trying to be the surprise here at Pocono Raceway. Slower car in front, Mitchell Collins, who got together with Rosero there in turn number 3. It did not bring out the caution. Stover looks like he's going to come off first of this group, but will he get up to speed to get ahead of Young? Will the far overcut work? No, it will not. Young is ahead of Crawford, and Arnsdorf and Smith side by side for that 3rd position. Kukulon will also get by Stover there. We'll have 5 laps to go this time by. Ben Young has only had 1 career win to his credit. It was last season at Martinsville, where he led all 100 laps. Can he get another one? He's got a challenger from Brad Crawford as the 07 goes to the race lead for owner Roman Fenway. Darian Arnsdorf down there trying to make it 2 days in a row here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Trey Smith right there, and that could bring Kukulon back in as well if these guys keep battling. And Mitchell Collins could potentially play a factor if these guys continue to close in now. 5 laps to go in the Independence 500. Arnsdorf will take the race lead away from Crawford. That's far from being the last overtake, I'm sure. Last overtake for the race lead anyways. Young and Smith are right there, and a hungry Kukulon looking to get back up to the front. That's going to be a tall order there for that 82. But what an effort. He's probably not going to win this. I don't think he's going to win this. But what an effort he had. That much is certain. 4 laps to go here in the Independence 500. Arnsdorf. Who could have seen this coming? He's looking for not only his 3rd win on the season, but 2nd in a row. He'd be the first back-to-back winner, and he's going to do it 2 days in a row if he holds on. And what a way to cap off a double-headed weekend it would be if this guy held on to win one of the biggest races of the season. Kukulon getting right to the backside of Trey Smith there for that 4th position. That's the 77 slid backwards. Young going to take a look to the inside of Crawford, headed off into turn 3. Kukulon not there on Smith, so Smith will hold on to that 4th position, and that is allowing Darian Arnsdorf to pull away with this race lead at 3 laps to go here at Pocono Raceway. As Smith gets to the inside of Young there for that third position. Young trying to fight back on the top side of that 77. Down Long Pond straightaway again, and it's a half-second lead from Arnsdorf to Crawford. Headed off into the tunnel turn. A huge dive by Kukulon on Smith for that fourth position, and he's going to take it and potentially look at taking third place away from Young. Not close enough to do that. But they're going to have to take it easy if they want to catch Darian Arnsdorf blazing fast in that Procore Chevrolet. 2 laps remaining from the biggest win of his career here in the Cabela's Cup Series. And Kukulon going to take a dive on Young and Crawford. Could they be 3 wide here? Yes, they are. Kukulon on the low line. Young in the middle. Crawford up top is going to stretch away from them. And that right there may have done it for Arnsdorf. As they continue to shuffle around, he is pulling away. 0.62 at the line that last time through. And it doesn't matter what slow cars do now. Rosero and Collins, doesn't matter, because they're coming to the white flag this time. One more time around. 2.5 miles is all that remain in the Independence 500 for Darian Arnsdorf. It would be his 3rd win of the season if he can hold on, and the biggest one so far. That and nobody has won back-to-back races in the Cabela's Cup Series ever. Could not have seen this happening. But down the Long Pond straightaway for the final time from the pole position. 2 turns and a straightaway away. But Crawford closing in one more time. Is something wrong with Arnsdorf? Here comes Crawford down to the inside. Headed off into turn 3. Kukulon's there if these two tangle. Crawford on the inside. They're side by side on the final turn of the final lap. Brad Crawford, Arnsdorf coming to the checkered flag. Who's going to win the Independence 500? Brad Crawford steals it away on the final corner. He wins the Independence 500 at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Unreal. Looked for sure like Arnsdorf had that made. But Brad Crawford was like, no way. And he got right on by that 14. And instead, he has the biggest win of his career. The only win of his career so far, but it is a biggie. The Independence 500 on 4th of July Sunday here at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. How about that finish? How about this weekend? My goodness. As they come around to the pit road, Arnsdorf heartbroken for certain, but he will hold on to the points lead. But he could have swept the weekend. Sometimes that's just how it goes. And we are denied a back-to-back winner in the Cabela's Cup Series. Arnsdorf is denied a back-to-back win. He's denied a 3rd win of the season to tie Benny Watson in that mark. But Brad Crawford came in 13th in the point standings, and he is going to leapfrog definitely in these point standings here after this one. But let's take a look at your finishing results here. The margin of victory, 39 1/1000ths of a second. Crawford over Arnsdorf at the line. Trey Smith finishes 3rd. Kukulon 4th. Young 5th. Nathan Smith, Brad Stover, Trey Wright, Samet Oskin, and Keegan Thompson round out the top 10, and we'll scroll through the rest of your standings here. The only cars finishing off the lead pace: RJ Rosero and Charlie Davenport. Ben Crouch apparently out of the race with a valve problem on that 74. So That's unfortunate after he didn't have a particularly good race yesterday in the Wawa, Pennsylvania 400. That's going to more than likely knock him out of the top 10 in points, but knowing Ben Crouch, he's a kind of driver that could bounce back from this kind of thing. But hey, Brad Crawford, what a surprise victory. He led one lap in this thing, if I'm not mistaken, but he only led the one that matters the most. And good on him for doing that. What a finish here in the first ever Independence 500 at Pocono. We'll take a look at your driver standings, your owner standings, and wrap it up here at the Pocono Raceway. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.